It's a tremendously sad time, I think, for all people, because Kodak was absolutely a great place to be. It really was, and it was on top of its form for 120 years, and the first time that Kodak faltered was actually in 1982. People don't understand that, but in 1982, Kodak launched a camera format system called the disc camera, and it was a camera very thin, you could put in your pocket, but the image quality wasn't up to expectations, and that was the first chink in the Kodak armor.
When you started with Kodak back in '73, what was it like getting that job? Did you think you'd scored the jackpot?
At that time, joining Kodak was like you were on top of the world. And I worked on the lunar camera that went to the moon. It was incredible. And that's why I say in 1982, a little bit after that, was the first time Kodak faltered. Then 1992 was the first digital product that Kodak really went after with the mass market photo CD. Another failure, and that was a critical failure because that's why Kodak missed the entire digital revolution.
So you were with Kodak in 1993 in the digital arm. Were you warning them that they were heading down the wrong path at that stage?
I definitely was, because my whole career was built on non-film, on electronics, digital, and so on, internet. And when the internet started in about 1992, the writing was on the wall that basically the analog film business model was not going to work anymore. And convincing the management and the board to go digital was really tough. And ultimately, that's why I left Kodak and went to Apple.
Yeah. And so what was the key decision that left Kodak in the wake of other companies then in '93?
Actually, I think Kodak had no options, because if you look at the digital imaging market, and Kodak's vision always was to be the world's leader in imaging. Today, before that used to be a huge business. Today, it's no business at all. You can take a digital phone or camera and take as many images you want for free. You can distribute them on the internet for free. You can share them on social media sites for free. There's no business left there. So if you're the world's leader in imaging, you resign yourself to a ever-shrinking business, and that's the fate that Kodak got locked into.
You've said something really interesting. Kodak was held captive by its vision statement.
Yeah, the vision statement at Kodak has always been something to the effect of the world's leader in imaging. You know, today it's changed a little bit, and we're going to grow faster than everybody else because we're going to do better on imaging. But the problem is, any large company that ties themselves to a vision statement beyond the lifetime of that vision statement is going to go the same pathway that Kodak has went. And it's sad, but that's the reality. It's happened in many companies.
Yeah, it's interesting because sometimes as employees we hear the company's vision statement and we think it's all kind of flowery kind of motherhood stuff, but it is critical to where a company heads.
Well, first of all, I have a slightly different view. I think a vision statement can be an incredible, focus, a motivator. On the other hand, it can be a boat anchor. And I can tell you, a company, take it from Kodak, learn what your vision statement is, don't learn it the hard way.
Now, is the company just way too far behind now to transform and survive?
It's a tough pathway, because at the end of the day, when you look at where Kodak is right now, I think coming out of a bankruptcy, if that's what Kodak wants to do, as opposed to sell off all the assets, it can create a profitable, output-based, printing-based business that's very small, $1 to $2 billion in revenue, maybe 3 at most, and that's fine. I think the real issue is that there's not going to be another Kodak moment where the company kind of comes back and is the icon that it's been for the past 130 years. And that's why it's really painful for all of us.